Welcome everybody to the X Factor Podcast, episode 10 here on a Monday morning, Monday afternoon, wherever you are at. We're going to be going over a couple things today. I am hyped. I hope you are too, depending on where you're at, what your lifestyle is. So, we're going to get right into it here. Things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about March Madness. We're going to talk about free agency buzz. And then we're going to put the Monday Night Raw roster in categories of world title, mid-card, or whatever else. So if you like long podcasts, if you like long podcasts where you gotta sit there, don't really gotta watch on the phone, just listen or whatever, great podcast for you. But we're gonna start doing these would you rather questions. It's gonna be an everyday thing. So would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? So that is just a would you rather question. Let me know in the comments below what would you rather see. So that's the question of the day. So we're going to be going right into these March Madness round 2 matchups. And I did put predictions for round 2. I did, but I forgot half of the for the two teams I got right that played in the second round. I don't really need to because I already had it on here. So, Alabama did beat Maryland in the round of 32. So, and I did have Alabama and Maryland in the round of 32. So, San Diego State beat Furman, which I did not have Furman on there. But San Diego State, I did have them winning. I had Baylor winning against Creighton, and Baylor lost. So, it's going to be a weird Sweet 16 for Baylor and Princeton because Princeton beat, or Creighton and Princeton because Princeton beat Missouri. So FAU beat Fairleigh Dixon. Duke lost to Tennessee. Kansas State defeated Kentucky. Michigan State defeated Marquette, which I had Marquette going to the final or Elite Eight. So I believe I did. Oh no, I had them going to the next round and losing to Kansas. And we already know Kansas fucking lost. So Houston beat Auburn. Miami beat Indiana. Xavier beat Pittsburgh. Texas beat Penn State. Arkansas, in a shock over the weekend, beat Kansas. UConn defeated St. Mary. Gonzaga defeated TCU. And UCLA defeated Northwestern. So right now, I'm going to go through the predictions I got here. So Gonzaga and UCLA, I had them going to the Sweet 16. I did have them facing each other. So, but I do have UCLA beating Gonzaga because the last couple of years Gonzaga has choked in the March Madness. So, I had Kansas versus UConn in this, but Arkansas did win. So, I am gonna go UConn. I do not have Arkansas doing another upset here. I have Texas beating Xavier because that's what originally I had going right there, and then Houston and Miami. I had originally had that going on there too, so I think Texas and Houston are going to go to the Elite Eight. I do have Kansas State there against Michigan State, but I had Marquette beating Kansas State. So now I'm going to have Kansas State taking down Michigan State. They're not going to have another upset. Tennessee versus FAU, which was originally in my bracket. Tennessee versus Purdue. I have Tennessee beating FAU in their little run here. Princeton versus Creighton. I have Princeton in an upset. The 15 seed will go on to the Elite 8. And I do have Alabama beating San Diego State, which is, I had Virginia there. So that's pretty much what I got sitting at that little bracket spot there. So let's get right into some NFL news here live. All right, we're going to get right into this. Darius Slayton comes back to the New York Giants. He resigns with the New York Giants here. Staying, I think it's a 2-year deal, I believe, here. Let me double check. By the way, a big trade happened Sunday. So, give me a quick second. Yep, 2-year, $12 million. So if you look at the Giants roster and look at their receivers, Paris Campbell, Isaiah Hodges, Richie James, Colin Johnson, Marcus Johnson, Jaden Mickens, Khalil Pimpleton, Makai Polk, Wandale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, David Sills, Darius Slayton, Jeff Smith. That is not a great receiving core. That is not a receiving core that is going to go good next season. Because out of the NFC East, they obviously have the worst receiving core in the NFC East. Because with Dallas, you got Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup's kind of fell off after what happened to his knee injury. So, Philadelphia, they got A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, and Devontae Smith. And then you got Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and Jahlil Dodson for them. And then now here, their best receivers, Darius Slayton and Shepard maybe. And then Paris Campbell. Oh, and then, so they're probably going to try to trade for maybe D-Hop, maybe. So, the Colts are giving Gardner Minshew a 1-year deal to be their quarterback. I don't think he will be starter, though. I do think he'll be backup to whoever they draft in the draft. So, maybe Gardner will start early in the year. Kind of like how every GM or coach does. They have the older guys start first for their first part of the year. And then later on, that's when they switch when they're starting doing bad. So, Gardner Minshew, and it's an all right pickup. He played for Philadelphia last year, of course. He played 2 games. I believe it was against Dallas and then against it was against Dallas and the Saints, and they lost to the Saints. Played terrible, and Dallas they're playing an injury Dallas team at that point of the season. So, but either way, he's no longer with them. No longer with Philadelphia Eagles because Philadelphia brought in another quarterback. The Patriots have agreed to terms to long snapper Joe Cardona for a 9th season. I don't really know much about their long snapper, so. Seahawks have agreed to a 1-year deal for Drew Lock, 4 years with incentives that can make it up to $7 million. And they brought back both Locke and Geno Smith for 2023. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the whole re-signing of Geno Smith. I have not been a fan of it. So bringing Drew Lock in, it'll probably help for the backup plan, just in case if Geno Smith goes back to his old self. So, Seattle has done pretty good things this offseason. They brought in a couple free agents, which I'll be going over all the teams' free agency acquisitions throughout the rest of the week. Mock drafts will be coming in soon. You're going to get at least maximum of 3 mock drafts coming from me here on the podcast. Want to see the rest of them? You'll probably see them on my Twitter or TikTok. So, and then if I get most of them right, then that'll be pretty good. So, Darius Slay has signed a 2-year extension through 2025. They announced his release, but he actually wasn't released, which is kind of weird. So he does stay for another 2 years. one thing I just love how Philly fans just switch like that with a little beat. Because, with Darius Slay, when he walked out, I've seen a couple Philly fans freaking going insane and saying they never wanted him. They didn't want this, or blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back and goes, oh, we really wanted him back. Like, shut the fuck up. Because I'll get into that with C.J. Gardner-Johnson just here in a little bit, because he's no longer with the team. So, I'll be getting over that in a minute here. But it's a 2-year, $42 million extension with a 23 guaranteed signing bonus. Seahawks are signing Devin Bush to a 1-year deal. Former Steeler linebacker. Devin Bush going to Seattle is going to be a great move for them. It's going to help their defense just a little bit more. Whether this is going to help them get Bobby Wagner, bring him back or not, because I did see a thing where it's coming down to Seattle and Dallas for Bobby Wagner. Whether this is going to help bring in Bobby Wagner, knowing that they're going to have another guy to help with the situation with the linebacker position, or if they know that they're not getting him and that's just going to be the guy that they're going to get. So, or it's just, if they do get Bobby, it'll be a guy that Bobby can help mentor and boom, replace. And so Devin Bush can replace him down the future. So, Patriots have agreed to terms to 1 year from Mike Gesicki. So now we got TikTok Boy and Gritty Boy on the same team. They have signed quite a few tight ends in the last couple years. They brought in Hunter Henry, they brought in Jonnu Smith, and now they're bringing in Gesicki. That's one. I think they got rid of Jonnu Smith. I believe they did. So, and Mike Gesicki now leaving Miami, it's going to be who is going to go to Miami next, pretty much. So, it's going to be an interesting duo with Mike Gesicki, Juju, Mac Jones, and all of them. So, that's all I gotta say. That's one interesting thing right there. So, Cowboys backup, Cooper Rush has signed a 2-year, $6 million deal. He won 4 games for us last year. Lost the game against Philadelphia. I think it's a good move for Dallas. They're dealing with Dak's thumb injury, and since his ankle injury, he's somewhat been a little bit of an injury bug going on with him. So, and Cooper Rush, when he's in, he's in. So, but I just don't know how he's gonna fit in with this new offense that McCarthy is trying to bring in, since we no longer have Kellen Moore at that position. And Mike McCarthy will be calling plays this next season. Whether if I'm worried about Mike McCarthy calling the plays, it could be a thing of two. It could be this is going to be a great thing for us, or it's going to be the worst thing in the world for us. So, and then we brought in Brian Schottenheimer for offensive coordinator job. So it's whether it's to be good or bad, I don't know yet, because we haven't seen Mike McCarthy call plays since his last year in Green Bay, when we all know when that happened. But he did win a Super Bowl calling plays, but that's a long time ago. So we're gonna look at the now. So hopefully we get some in there. And with Cooper Rush signing with us, it's gonna be great for if he's gonna be the backup. I did hear rumors about us getting a quarterback to replace Dak down the future. And when I mean replace Dak, I mean after Dak's contract, we're probably gonna let him go and go on with a new quarterback. And there's been a lot of rumors with Max Duggan. I do not know how I feel about Max Duggan after the whole national championship. I've seen everything he did throughout last year, which he did great last year. It's just that national championship game, it hit him hard. So, but like I said, bringing Cooper Rush back is good for Dallas. Whether he's gonna be good next year, I don't know. So, Jonah Williams. After the signing of Orlando Brown, Jonah Williams has requested a trade. He is only 25 and has only has 47 career starts protecting Joe Burrow. And if Cincinnati is willing to move on from him, that's gonna be interesting where he goes, because with how Cincinnati's be able to bring, with all the money that they've been spending on these free agents, offensive linemen. And I know it's hard to move a tackle to a guard. It could be for some players, but last year Cowboys did it with Tyron Smith and I am blanking right now. I want to say Trey Smith, but that's his name. That's not his name. Give me a minute here. Tyler Smith. I am a fucking idiot, man. God damn it. Monday morning bugs, let me tell you. But no, they did it with Tyler Smith last year, moving him from tackle to guard tackle. They did it with Jason Peters last year, moving him tackle. And again, Jason Peters has been playing for nearly 20 years in the NFL. But they did it with a rookie last year. Cowboys were able to. So I'm wondering if they could move him around the offensive line, see what they can do with him instead of just trading him. Because, you got to realize there's 5 positions there he can potentially go to. But every position has a different spot that they need to play. Every position you need to learn the technique of each side of the ball. So whether they're going to move him over or not, or if they're going to trade him, I don't know. If they do trade him, I do think it's going to be a team that needs an offensive lineman. So maybe San Francisco are looking to trade for one because, Mike McGlinchey did get sign another contract with Denver. So maybe 49ers trade can come in through. So who knows what's going to happen. Mike Badgley agreeing to terms with the Detroit Lions as a kicker. So that's just another helping for the kicking group for Detroit. The Falcons are continuing their free agency shopping spree on defense, adding Tay Davis. And he will be going to the Atlanta Falcons. I think it's helping more of the linebacking group. So the Falcons have been active this free agency so far. So bringing Jesse Bates in, and then all that other guys they've brought in, they're gonna be looking decent next year. It's not gonna look bad, but it's not gonna look good. But they're gonna look pretty good next year. So. Over the week, I will be going over, like I said, I'm going to be going over the acquisitions for each team, looking over the rosters, looking over everything, and looking at what holes can be fixed. So, let's see here. Mike Edwards is signing with he's signing with the Chiefs, coming off probably one of his best seasons, with 2 picks, 82 tackles. And he is now going to be with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bucks losing another player to free agency is not the best look for them right now. The more I keep seeing what the Bucks are doing, the more I think they're going to slowly rebuild. But they did bring Baker in, but I still don't believe that they're going to do anything good next year. And I think it's the only person that I'm really going to blame for that is Todd Bowles as their head coach. He is not an offensive head coach, and it doesn't matter who you bring in as offensive coordinator job to call plays. It always comes down to the head coach and what their scheme is or what their idea is. And he's an offense. Todd Bowles has always been a defensive head coach. And in this day and age of the NFL, you need an offensive mind head coach, which. That's not for every situation. Because Eberflus for the Chicago Bears, he who knows, he could change all that like that. So, but not every situation. It's depending on what team you're gonna be with. And right now, the Bucks, they need offense. They need offense right now because their defense has been all right the last couple years. It's just they need to get that offense back up and going because after Brady leaves, it's a big hit to the team. So, it's just one of those deals that you can't really get away with. So, and I do think Todd Bowles will probably get fired in the next 2 years anyway. So, mark my word. So apparently Kevin Byard was approached about taking a pay cut. And apparently he would not take it. So that's an interesting development going on there. I don't know what's gonna happen. It happened a couple days ago. Haven't heard much news since from that. So, Donald Parham Jr. re-signs on a 2-year deal to the Chargers. I do believe I haven't really heard much of him besides that one time he got injured. So, all right, let's see here. Any more free agency news? Alshon Robinson is scheduled to meet with the Giants Monday, which is today. Could help with their defensive line, which it would, because they already have Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence, among others, on the team. So, if they bring in Alshon Robinson, it's going to be great for that defense, let me tell you. So, the Detroit Lions are signing special teams player, defensive back and stellar special teams player C.J. Moore to a 2-year deal, helping pretty much helping with special teams. That pretty much is what his job is gonna be there. So, Greg Gaines has agreed with the Bucks, helping with their defensive line. He did play with the Rams for a couple seasons. Larry Tunsil has re-signed with the Houston Texans on a 3-year, $75 million deal, $50 million guaranteed, and $60 million in total guaranteed. The blindside protector will, he is going to stay with Houston. That's huge for Texans right now because whoever they bring in as quarterback, you don't want a David Carr type of season where he's getting sacked every play. And they already brought Shaq Mason in. So if they bring in... And they've kept Larry Tunsil. So going more into this free agency, the more I think they should probably help with more of the offensive line group. But good thing they're not getting rid of him because I did hear rumors about the Chiefs trying to trade for him. So good thing he is not leaving the Texans. Texans are trading Brandon Cooks to the Dallas Cowboys for a 5th and 6th round pick. This happened yesterday morning, about 8 o'clock this morning, my time. So, great trade by Dallas. We've been able to get Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks for only 2 5ths and a 6. That's pretty much how both trades have went down. So pretty much 2 5ths and a 6, we were able to get at least a top 15 receiver and a top 10 corner in the league. So that is really great for us. The Cowboys next season this season, they're off season, they're making moves. They're making big moves that's going to change everything. So, and when Jerry did say he wanted to make some, moves, I did not really expect them to do anything, and now they're bringing in this. And I did think they were trying to talk to the Cardinals about D-Hop, which they said they didn't, which I think they were gonna. But, seeing what the Cardinals were offering, I would not want to get a first-round pick for a guy that's coming off an injury season, and then a season where he was suspended for drugs or whatever he had going on there. And then did play good. All right, when the time he was playing, so if we're still able to get another receiver, that would be freaking more than grateful. So, but as of right now, it's now Brandon Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. So, all right, 3 group right there. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Steelers have agreed to terms with Isaac Seumalo, giving him a 3-year deal, $24 million. And last year, Isaac was more of the weak point of that offensive line, and Philadelphia was the best offensive line last year. They had the best offensive line. So, and losing him, it's gonna hurt Philly just a little bit, but he was also part of the weak point of that offensive line last year. So, Steelers getting him wise, it's good for them, but for Philadelphia, it's kind of like another weight off the shoulders, but also gonna hurt the offensive line a little bit. So, Um, Azeez Al-Shire signed a 1-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. Um, Another move for Tennessee, trying to bring in some more defensive players, and I believe that defense needs to get better because the last couple of years that defense has just looked, on paper wise, they look freaking awful. So, but they do have their talent there at some spots. So, Sean Bunting is scheduled to visit with the Titans today. If Murphy Bunting leaves the Bucks, that's gonna be another hurt thing going for the Bucks as they need to keep some of their guys. So, Adam Thielen signs a 3-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are looking like another good team going into next year. Like, I know Frank Reich was a good head coach, but he's gonna make himself look better going into next season with how many people he's been able to bring in. And I know Adam Thielen has not had the best couple years with Justin Jefferson taking his spot on the offense, but he's not even close to washed. He can still play. He can still make big plays. So, that's pretty much going to be a replacement for DJ Moore. So DJ Moore for Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen's a little more of a downgrade, but it's still up there to where you can feel comfortable if you need someone to make a play down just by a touchdown, or need to get a touchdown because you're down 2 touchdowns later in the game. Adam Thielen's gonna be one of those guys that you can boom give it to. Just depending on what quarterback they bring in. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson signs a 1-year, $8 million deal with the Detroit Lions. And Philly fans on Twitter last night went absolutely insane for this. And the main reason is because, they expected him to re-sign with Philadelphia. They expected him to come back and be like, oh, we're going back to the Super Bowl next year. He does it, and then Philly fans go insane. We never wanted you here. We offered you more money to stay, and you didn't want to stay here. But I'm sorry. I don't think he has kids. But if he does, if I had kids, I wouldn't want to bring my kids to Philadelphia. I'm sorry. I'm be the first one. I would be like, screw Philadelphia. I'm leaving. And I know Detroit's not another safe place, but depending on what side of the town you're going to be on. So, it's a great signing for Detroit, but Philadelphia really needs to calm the fuck down, because the fan base for Philadelphia are going insane because they acted like they never wanted him, and they're acting like they didn't went insane when they did trade for him. So it's like, give me a goddamn break, you fucking fake bitches. Like, come on now. But for Detroit, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, amazing signing for them, helping with their defense. For Philadelphia, losing a big piece to that defense last year. When he was playing, he made them look like one of the best defenses in the secondary and whatever. Now that they lose him, whoever they replace, it's gonna be a big role to replace. So, O.J. Howard potentially going to the Raiders as a Darren Waller replacement. He played for the Bucks for a couple seasons and played for the Texans last year. O.J. Howard, I always thought he was kind of in a disrespectful group because, he never really got to show what he could really do. And I know that's ironic for me to say, but hear me out on this one. When Bruce Arians came in, he was not really much of a tight end use guy. He was usually for them using the blocking. But O.J. Howard, when he can, go out for passes, he can make plays. And then, Brady comes in and then replaces O.J. Howard with Gronk. It's like he never really got to show himself. The first year with Arians, though, he didn't really do much because Arians didn't want him to freaking go out and pass, catch, or whatever at all. So, if the Raiders bring him in, it's a great signing for them. I do think their head coach is still an idiot, though. Don't give a damn. So, good signing if that does happen. The Raiders are hosting him today, I believe, so we'll see what goes on. I'll probably review it tomorrow if it does go down. So, Dolphins have exercised the Tua Tagovailoa's 5th-year option, which I think is the right thing to do. I think I said this about last week that they need to do that. um, because of the injury he had last year. So, um, so pretty much for the next 2 years, he needs to go pretty much playing at the Tua spots that everyone's been wanting to see. And that's what everyone's been wanting to see for the last couple years now since they drafted Tua. Wanting him to be a top-notch, top-league quarterback in the league. And when he is on the field, he looks like a top 10 quarterback in the league and possibly top 5. I know it's big for me to say, but he does look good when he's playing. And he doesn't get enough respect by a lot of people. So, Tua, good for him. Getting another year, 2 years with him. And that's pretty much all I got for free agency news. Let's see. I believe that's all we got for today. We're going to be going over the Monday Night Raw stuff. The roster, put them in each category. So if you're not really much of a professional wrestling fan, the next however long is not really going to be your type of video. So let's get right into it. Alright, so what I have here, I have down a chart here. So I have, for each category I'm going to put in, for each superstar, we have a category for who I think should be in the world title picture, the U.S. title picture, the tag title picture, the women's title picture, and I will put a women's mid-card picture, like who should be, because I know they don't have a mid-card championship, but like who is like not really up there yet. And then I'll put people who are main event, which I'm not talking about like final match kind of category. I'm talking about the show main event category where they're not going to get shown much. So let's get right started. AJ Styles, I do think he should be in the world title picture. He has been a caliber main event guy since 2016 when he joined WWE. So bringing him in, keeping him at the world title picture, I think is the safest option for him. Akira Tozawa, put him at main event. I don't think he is, when he was in 205 Live, when they had 205 Live a couple years ago, I would have put him in that category where he was one of the main guys on 205 Live. But he is, since then, he just hasn't really done much. If they can build him up to a point where he can actually look like he's not comical every week, you can do that. So, right now, Alexa Bliss, she's right now on a hiatus. We don't know where she's at. I will put her in the women's title picture. For obvious reasons, she's been in the main event title picture since her starting days in 2016, so I don't see that ever changing, her moving. Angel Garza, he is in the tag title picture, the Los Lotharios, and I do think him and Humberto are going to stay in that tag title picture and for a while. So going right into it here, Los Lotharios, I think they're going to be in the tag title picture for a while. Angelo Dawkins, that also goes for Montez Ford. I do think Street Profits stay in that tag title picture as much as I want them to split up. And Montez going on to do whatever he wants. And Dawkins do whatever he wants. So Asuka, she's already in the main event title picture. She is getting a title shot against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. I do think Asuka will win the title, so give me here. Alright, so and then the next guy is Austin Theory. He is currently your United States champion. I think keeping him in the mid-title picture for a while is going to be a safer option for him. I don't think he's up there with a Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes type of picture. And if he does beat Cena at WrestleMania, that could change. But he has to have like a really good match against Cena. So Baron Corbin, as much as I've been high on him with him and JBL, I do think he is main event at this point. I think they just given up on him, and so I don't think him going after a title right now is pretty much the best option. Bayley, she is right now in the main event title picture. She's ever since she turned this gimmick from hugging to just being a bad guy has always been, she's been able to reconstruct her career a little bit. She's been able to change everything about her. Makes it just seem like she's just the evil person. So, and Bayley, I think she should have beat Bianca in the rivalry a couple months ago. So, sad that she didn't. So, next person, the current women's tag champion, Becky Lynch. Whether she's in a tag championship contention or world title contention, I still think she is a main person on that. So I do think Becky is women's contention. I do think she's up there as one of the best women wrestlers right now in WWE. And that's not going to change for a while. She has been top. She's been the main event tier person since 2017 or 2018, 2019. So keeping her at that world title picture is going to be a safe option for me, at least. Next here, Bianca Belair, your current Raw Women's Champion. I do think she will lose that at WrestleMania to Asuka. And after she loses, I still think she'll be part of the main event scene. Bobby Lashley. I do think Bobby Lashley is main event world title picture. I have thought that for a while. I thought that even when he came back in 2018, he was main event title picture guy. Keeping him there. You could put him in either world title or U.S. title picture, and he's still going to be one of the main guys on each. So I think just keeping him there is going to be the best. And I could, safe to say, I could put him in both options for the U.S. title and world title picture. So, and I'll do that. I'll put Bobby in both categories because it's safe to say he could do both. So, Brock Lesnar. I'm going to put a new tier here. I'm going to say retire. I think Brock needs to retire. I think he's 45. The man, he hasn't had a good match since coming back. Besides the SummerSlam match, of course. But I do think after WrestleMania, when Omos faces him, I think he'll retire. So, Bronson Reed. I do think Reed needs to be in the U.S. title picture more. He needs to get shown more on TV, in my opinion. So, putting him in the U.S. title picture is going to be best. I do think he's a future U.S. champion, maybe a future Intercontinental champion, maybe a future world champion down the road. So, and, he reminds me a lot of Bam Bam Bigelow from the 1990s. Big, athletic, be able to do a lot of things. And, Bam Bam and Bronson Reed both are big guys that go off the top rope for finishing moves. So, Bronson Reed at the U.S. title picture is where I got him. Candice LeRae, I do think she is in the mid tier. I just haven't been, I haven't really been high on her since her return when she returned I was high on her, but ever since then I just haven't been high on her as I usually would be. And I do think having her at that is mid-card championship tier is going to be best for her for right now. And like I said, she's not a Becky Lynch, she's not a Bayley, she's not an Asuka, and she's not an Alexa Bliss. So, and so I'm not really feeling her kind of vibe right now. Carmella, I could put her in both. I'm going to put her in the mid-card and women's title picture because she could be, if she's a babyface, I'm putting her in that mid-card title picture. If she's a heel, I'm putting her in that world title picture because Carmella as a heel, she is easily one of the best heels on Raw. Easily. Her and Chelsea Green. So, I'm going to put her at the world as a heel, Carmella. I'm going to put her there. Carmella as a babyface will be mid-card. So, there we go. Next, we got Cedric Alexander. And, I'm going to replace that main event thing. I'm going to put NXT. So, Akira Tozawa, Baron Corbin, and Cedric Alexander needs to go back to NXT. Main reason is, he was in 205 Live when it all came out about in 2016. The cruiserweight division, one of the best divisions in professional wrestling. And I just feel since then, since the Hurt Business is no longer much of a thing, he's with Shelton Benjamin right now, but I don't think that they're gonna get as popular as they were when they were with the Hurt Business. So I do think Cedric Alexander needs to go back to NXT, get himself built back up, and then if it doesn't work, then he probably needs to be fired. So, Chad Gable, I am instantly putting him in the U.S. title picture. I am putting him there because he is he is amazing professional wrestler. Amazing. I'm going to say professional wrestler a lot, even though they're sports entertainment. He is a professional wrestler by heart. He's like this version of Kurt Angle. Every week he can make you laugh. He can make you smile. He can make you, like when you need a good match, Chad Gable's the guy that they're gonna go to. So, I do think later down the road, Chad Gable needs to get put into the U.S. title picture. I think if him and Otis split up, I think they need to get up to the world title picture. So, Chelsea Green. As of right now, she is in the women's mid-card title picture. And like I said, they don't have a mid-card title picture. That's why I think they should, because women like Chelsea Green and Candice LeRae would thrive through that. So and Chelsea Green, I love her little gimmick thing since she's been back. It's been a Karen type of deal, but and her and Carmella as a tag team is amazing. I do love that. That is because they both have the same personality. So that's pretty much what I got her at this point. And she just came back, so who knows what else she can do. Cody Rhodes, your next WWE World Undisputed Universal Champion. I have him in the main event picture since he's came back. He has been in that main event picture. When WWE released him, he was not in that main event picture. He was pretty much at the verge of getting fired, which he did get fired. And, he left, went, did his little thing in Impact. I think he went to Ring of Honor for a little bit. And then he started up AEW. And now, look, he has revived his career by a long shot. Now he's won the Royal Rumble. He's gonna face Roman at WrestleMania. And I do think he should beat Roman. I think this is the time when Roman's near 1,000-day reign as Universal Champion needs to end here. So, and Cody Rhodes is obviously one of the best wrestlers in WWE right now. So, Dakota Kai, I do have her down as mid card. She's not. The people I'm putting in the mid card are just people I don't feel are ready yet to be in that main event picture. Because you got people like Becky, Bayley, Bianca, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and then right now I got Carmella on there because I do think she's one of those main event talents on Raw, just as a heel though. So if you put all of them together, I don't think Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green, Candice LeRae can thrive, and they haven't been thriving through that division. And I know Dakota Kai is in that women's tag title picture, and I'm not putting those tag title pictures in there because I don't like those women tag titles. I'm sorry, they're not. I think the women's tag division is lackluster. I don't think they book it right. I don't think they do anything right with it. Pretty much, so they don't build up women tag divisions. They just I don't think they do any of it right. So I think taking away that and put a mid-card title, I think will help a lot. So, Damian Priest, he is right now with Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Him and Dominic are both in that tag division. So, I do have Judgment Day in that tag title picture. And as a singles guy, though, I do have him in the U.S. title picture. And I'm going to go back here and I'll get back to Damian Priest here in a second. But Los Lotharios, Angel Garza, and Humberto, NXT guys. Humberto and Angel Garza. I do think they need to go back to NXT if they were singles guys. They haven't really shown much since, as tag guys. So Street Profits, though, if I put them two and Montez and Dawkins in the group, I put Dawkins at the U.S. title picture. I don't think he is ready for that main event picture. And Montez, I'm already saying, Montez is a main event picture guy. He's in the main event. If you put him for the world title, boom, he could be a world champion and be successful at it, in my opinion. So, and then Damian Priest, like I said, U.S. title picture. He's been in the U.S. title picture for the last couple of years now, or last year or so. So, and I don't see that really much changing. Dana Brooke, the girl who likes to bitch all the time because she doesn't get the opportunity she gets on Twitter, she needs to go back to NXT. She's always bitching. I feel like every time I go on Twitter, it's always her bitching about something, how she's not getting used, or not how she's getting used right, but, last time, let me give you an example. Her WWE 2K23 rating. She was complaining because it was a 73. And I'm like, what have you done in the last year? You've been on main event almost all year last year. Otherwise, you're in this fucking 24/7 title picture. The 24/7 title, you should not be grateful if you're in the 24/7 title picture. That means you're doing something wrong. That means they don't want you in that main event picture yet. That means you're not doing your job right. That means people are not reacting to you right. So, taking her back to NXT, I think, is the best option for her. And, wait until she quits bitching about everything. So, and she did want the 24/7 title to become a mid-card title, like an Intercontinental title for the women division. But I believe she only wanted that because she had the 24/7 title on her. So, if they did do that, they'd have to fucking strip her of the title, and she'd probably bitch about that too. So, Dexter Lumis, I'm sorry. Go back to NXT, dude. Actually, Dexter, I'm not a fan of Dexter at all. So I'm putting him in that release category. He doesn't, he's not interesting. Nothing interesting about him besides, just being quiet and taking out people, pretty much. But, I haven't really been a fan of much of anything since he's been back. And I feel like with WWE, if you need to be main event, if you want to get up there on the card or whatever, you need to be a guy that can talk. And he don't talk. So, and that's just with WWE, though. You can go to AEW or whatever promotion and don't talk and be successful. So if he had a manager with him, I could potentially move in that category down in the future. But otherwise, nothing really there. Dolph Ziggler. I do have Ziggler in the U.S. title picture. As much as they're misusing him right now, since Triple H has been there, I do think he is in the U.S. title picture. It hurts me to say, it hurts me just to see Dolph in that situation he has now, because he was NXT champion last year. And after WrestleMania, he goes away. Triple H takes over. He comes back, but he's pretty much just jobbing out pretty much everybody. And I get as a professional standpoint, you're making money. You need to make money, so do what you got to do to make money. But it's I grew up watching the Dolph Ziggler coming out, taking titles, winning matches, not giving a fuck. Do your thing. So that's the Dolph Ziggler I'll remember. So, Dominic Mysterio, he's right now with Judgment Day, but if I had to put him in a singles thing, he is going back to NXT. Because if he goes by himself without Rhea, without Damian Priest, without Finn Balor, he's not gonna be good. I think that's one of the reasons why he's just being so successful now is because he's got Rhea, he's got Damian Priest, he's got Finn Balor all around him. And, it's helping a lot because he's having people that are once heels before doing this now. So And I think Dominic, he makes me crack up every week with the jail stuff, but he also says the same thing every week about his dad. So, um, keep going down the roster here. Edge. Um, besides having him in the retirement category, I'm putting him in the world title category. He is. I do think he should have beaten Roman at Money in the Bank last year or 2 years ago. But as of right now, I think he should be in the world title category. You know, at least competing for one more at least in his career. But otherwise than that, I think he should just retire. He's done everything for the business. He's done everything. He's won a world title. He's won the Intercontinental title. He's won the U.S. title. He's won tag titles. He's won Money in the Bank. He's won the Royal Rumble. Like, what else do you got to do to prove? Like, besides wrestling is, like, the best thing, like, you know, it's hard to stop, so. But I was like, he's done everything, so I don't think there's really much for him to. And he's pretty much succeed everyone's childhood. You know, everyone's got to see him wrestle. Everyone in this generation gets to see him wrestle. Everyone from the old generation gets to see him wrestle again. So, that's pretty much that. Elias. I do think Elias needs to get put in the NXT category. As much as I love his character and as much as I love how he's doing, I feel like just bringing and taking him back to NXT will help revive, you know, putting him in a title picture where he can be successful at and not having to job out to a bunch of guys that are much more popular than him. So, and I believe that there's a lot more people on the Monday Night Raw roster that is way more popular than him. So, Finn Balor. I do think Finn Balor is in the world title picture. You know, after his Universal title win in 2016 SummerSlam, whenever he won that, and you know he got hurt, never got the rematch for it. Well, he got the rematch, but it was against Brock. So, you know, I just feel that he needs to get that one more title push that can get him going, pretty much. So, that's pretty much how I feel about him. Gable Stevenson, we haven't seen him yet. He was a amateur wrestler in Minnesota College. So, hopefully we can see him down the future. Humberto, like I said, go back to NXT as a singles guy, but as tag team, stay here. Io Sky, amazing professional wrestler. It just sucks that she can't talk because of her language and everything. So, Io Sky will put in the main event title picture. I do think she's up there to be one of them. So, Jay and Jimmy the Usos, the current tag champions, but if I put them in singles competition, Jay, I'm putting him in the world title picture. Jimmy, I'm putting him in the U.S. title picture. Johnny Gargano, who is currently in Raw and NXT right now, doing a rivalry with Grayson Waller. I put him in the U.S. title picture. You know, he did come back after 15 months, I believe, of being gone. So, seeing him come back is great. But I think if you put him in the U.S. title picture for a little bit, he'll potentially get up to that world title picture. Anderson and Gallows. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The Club. The Good Brothers, whatever you want to call them. Tag title wise, they're one of the best tag teams on Raw. As a singles competitor, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I do think, would be in that mid-card territory, in the U.S. title territory. So, Kevin Owens, world title picture. I do think Kevin Owens is a main event caliber guy. He has been for the last several years now, so. And Lita, who came back, she is the other half of the women's tag titles. I'm putting her in that category of retire. After this, with whole Lita and Trish Stratus and Becky and all that, I think that's where her and Trish need to just retire. And I love seeing them come back. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing them come back. But as of this generation of superstars, keep developing. I think that's best for them, just to retire. Logan Paul, get the guy fucking out of here. Get that dickhead out of here. Logan Paul, release. I'm sorry, I don't fucking like him at all. I'm not even gonna put the guy in NXT. He's just gonna get cut. So, Masse, the Maximum Male Models. As a tag team, I think they're great. But if it's just them by themselves, I do think they should just release them. So, Matt Riddle, a guy we haven't seen in months because of his drug-induced suspension. At this stage, I think they're going to release him. I think they should release him. You know, he's not really much of he's not an entertaining guy besides all of his weed jokes, but he's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but everything else he's just not really good at. Mia Yim, mid-card. I just don't think they've built her up as good as I think they should have, so. Montez Ford, we already talked about him. Mustafa Ali, I'll release. Whatever they're doing with fucking Dolph Ziggler right now is fucking stupid. Him always smiling, being nice. I don't like that. I'm sorry. Mansoor, Maximum Models, we already talked about. Nikki Cross, mid card. With Nikki Cross, it's with Nikki ASH, dumb gimmick, but she did end up winning a world title with that. So I put her in the mid card division because of like I said, it's pretty much having to compete with the main event style of wrestlers, pretty much. So Omos, Opus Sapiens, I do put him in. I don't really got him in a world title. I don't even got him in any title picture. Omos is one of those guys where he doesn't really gotta win a title. But if I had to put him somewhere, I'd put him in the U.S. title picture. Omos, Otis, NXT by himself. But since he's with Maximum Male Models, do whatever you want. Piper Niven, main event. I think when she first came onto the scene as Doomdrop, it was pretty much just an insult because how big she is. And if you really want to build her up to be something amazing, quit having her do this dumb. When she was Doomdrop, it was just pretty much a comical little thing for her. And she should be built as one of those main event, she should be the Brock Lesnar of the women's division. Because, Brock, he's bigger than most of the people, just destroying everybody. That's how Piper Niven should be. Destroying everybody throughout the entire division. And, so that's where I pretty much got her. R-Truth. I love R-Truth to death, but I think retire. Unless you want to put him in for comical stuff, otherwise just retire. Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been a world title guy for years, and I don't see that ever changing. For most of the people that know who Randy Orton is, you can understand my point of view on this. Randy Orton, main event picture. Rick Boogs. Right now he's in a little bit of a tag team with Elias, but I do think he should be in NXT. I don't think he really fits the U.S. title picture. I don't really think he fits the world title picture. And if he's with Elias, put him in a tag team. I think they'll be all right. So, and I do have a perfect tag name for them: the Rock and Roll Train. I think that'd be great for them. Robert Roode, U.S. title picture. It sucks that he's hurt still, but if he was right now wrestling, I think he'd thrive through the U.S. division. Roman Reigns, the current undisputed world universal champion. Even if you lose the titles, he's still main event caliber. So Seth Rollins, world title picture. He has been in that category since 2015. So it's, I don't really gotta explain myself. Shelton Benjamin, by himself, I think he should be in the U.S. title picture. But if it's not on that, it's on the urge of retirement. So Tamina, retire. I'm sorry. Tamina, she's, I've always liked Tamina, and only because of her father, Jimmy Snuka. And I get what he did is, bad, but Tamina, I've always liked her because of Jimmy Snuka. So, it sucks seeing that she's not in the scene that I expected her. If it was my decision, if I was booking, she'd be up there with the mid card world picture, just because of bias. But at this stage of her career, she's 45. She is 45 years old. I think she's older than Trish Stratus and Lita. Or Trish Stratus might be older, but I think she's older than Lita. So it's like, come on. So, The Miz, as the bad guy he is, I'm putting him as world title picture. And I don't really gotta explain myself on that one. Tommaso Ciampa, U.S. title picture. I just think since he's came on the main roster, and plus he got hurt, so bringing him back, I think, put him in the U.S. title picture would help. And Trish Stratus, retirement. So that's pretty much what I got for today. Let me know what other things you guys want me to do. I do have a life experiences episode coming up about my life, so that's gonna be quite a video. And what details I should get into about everything. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. So, but that's pretty much what I got for my division. I got the world title picture. I got AJ, Bobby, Cody, Montez Ford, Edge, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Miz. U.S. title picture. I got Bobby, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, Damian Priest, Dawkins, Ziggler, Gargano, Omos, Brood, Benjamin, and Ciampa. Tag team. Los Lotharios, Street Profits, Judgment Day, The Club, and Maxwell Male Models. Women's main event picture, Alexa Bliss, Bianca, Bayley, Becky, Carmella, Io Sky, and Piper. Retirement, I got Brock, Lita, Trish, Tamina, and Truth. NXT, Akira Tozawa, Corbin, Cedric, Humberto, Angel Garza, Dana Brooke, Dom, Ali, Elias, Otis, and Rick Boogs. Women's mid-card, Carmella, Candice, Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Cross, and release, Dexter, Riddle, and Ollie. So, let me know what else you want me to do. Let me know what else I'm missing. I will talk to everyone later. Have a great day. Live your life how you want. Don't let anyone tell you how to live. Do what you want to do for you. Do what you think is best for yourself. So, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.